Now, I don't even know why I'm doing this video, to be honest with you, because you already know the answer. But I just read something this morning, it dawned on me. It wasn't even, what, a month ago, if that, oil prices were down to $78 a barrel. And now they're at $93 a barrel. We're talking $15 difference per barrel in a matter of, let's just round off and say 1 month's time. When I use the word fundamentals, things that drive the price of other things, you know, like silver. Why is silver, why was it $4, you know, 10, 11 years ago? $4 and $5 an ounce. And why is it $28? Why was it $50 not that long ago, last year or whatever? In the 40s and the 30s, right now, even right now, with everything being the way it is, in the, you know, $27, $28 range. Even $4 to $28 is a massive increase in price of anything. I mean, could you, if silver doubled at $4, that's $8. If it tripled, it's $12. Has the price of a car tripled in the last several years? You know what I mean? $30,000 car, standard, nothing, you know, not something real fancy, but just a, how about a $20,000 car? Something on the lower end. I'm talking brand new car. Brand new automobile. $20,000, $40,000, $60,000? No, that's absurd. Even if it was $40,000 would be absurd. Even if that $20,000 went to $30,000 car, that's absurd. And that's only a 50% increase. Not 300% or 3 times that in my example. So when I talk about fundamentals, that means there are driving forces of something. There's stuff behind the, you know, the reason why something is doing what it's doing. And even though we have that something doing what it's doing, driving the price of silver and gold, the elite, are massively trying to stop its rise with everything that they can do, obviously. So having said that, even though they're doing this, and it seems like we're not gaining ground, we've gained massive ground, and we've got a lot more massive ground to gain, period. However, back to oil prices. Now, the first thing you need to know is Lindsey Williams said a long time ago, when I first found him, which was in, he had a video from 2006, and it was like January of 2007 that I watched it, the energy non-crisis, and he went to explain the price of a barrel of gas, the price you pay at the pump every day, is set on Wall Street through the boys, the IMF, the World Bank, etc., the club. That is how they set the price. It has nothing to do with OPEC, has nothing to do with supply, has nothing to do with demand. It has everything to do with traders with God knows how much money behind them. Again, the elite have more money than your average corporation, if you will, to do whatever they want with. So that's how the price is set. So back to the example. Very recently, $78 a barrel, and now all of a sudden we're at 93. Again, have you? They normally throw out the fake news stories. Oh, a pipeline in Damascus has burned down today and blew up from a bomb. Damascus? How much oil do they supply to the world market? A percent of a percent of a percent. You know, and that's the whole country. What about that single pipeline? How much does that provide? Oh, almost nothing. Oh, okay. So all it is a news story, nothing more, but a news story to say, well, that's why the price rose today, $2 a barrel. But even so, it's just $2. So what happens when the pipeline gets fixed? You don't hear breaking news, Damascus pipeline fixed, oil drops $2 or $3 a barrel. How come you don't hear that? Why do you only hear some nonsense story that didn't even have anything to do with the price rise anyways, and then when that alleged reason of why the price rose goes away and they fixed it back to normal, price is still where it's at, or even going higher? Because the price is set on Wall Street. Now, if this isn't a prime example, there's nothing else is. You know, and I was reading something from Zero Hedge, which kind of inspired me to do this video. And, you know, and he's saying, you know, he's just labeling it as traders. You know, these, you know, basically we're tired of paying for the hedge funds and traders, you know, paychecks and bonuses, because that's all we're doing when they jack the price up on us through Wall Street, through these paper contracts that they're pushing because they're the hedge fund manager, and they've got, God knows, tens of billions, hundreds of billions, trillions of dollars, if you combine all of them, of other people's money that they have to make work. So ultimately, it's like a self-eating parasite or something. All the people who pitch into the hedge fund need to see it perform, or you're going to take your money out of that hedge fund and go somewhere else, to another company, potentially. Can't have that, because then we don't make that little transfer fee, or fees that we make every day when we buy and sell, or whatever, or whatever percentage we're raping your 401k company. We don't make those fees if you're not one of our clients. So we don't want that, so we got to make the price move. So if they make the price move, and again, this is the regular traders. I'm not even talking about the elite right now that really set the price. The traders, and this is where Zero Hedge was coming from. Why are we all basically paying for other people's retirement? Even though, as part of that, maybe I've got a 401k, or maybe you've got a 401k, and it's through this hedge fund, and they're also betting on oil. And the more people who get in on that, the higher the price goes. And the rest of us seem to be happy because, hey, my retirement's looking pretty good, doing pretty good. But what about everybody else that has to pitch in at the gas pump so that your retirement looks good? The whole system, the whole damn system is flawed. And everyone says, well, you got to have retirement. You can't rely on, the government and Social Security. And even if you took all that away, which, fine, you're going to say, well, you can't sit there and put money under a pillow, basically, save your money as a retirement. No, it's got to earn money. It's got to earn interest. That's the only way to do it. Oh, really? Says freaking who? If a house was extremely cheap, as I'm talking about today's prices compared to where they are, and they've been deflated enough, but I'm talking massively cheap housing. So cheap that it costs you what you pay for a used car right now. A used car, maybe $1,000, $1,500. I'm talking a nice used car. High-speed internet, normally 40, 50, 60 bucks a month, $10 a month. Your average grocery bill, $300, $400 at the grocery store, depending on how you shop, turns into 80 bucks, etc. But all of our salaries, right? And we got to bump up minimum wage, but average salaries right now could stay the same. You'd be able to pay for all those things, housing, rent, massively cheap. Use the excess money that you are not now having to pay out for the stupid landlord, property owner, all these extra taxes, oil, $3 something dollars, a gallon at the gas pump, etc., etc., etc. All that stuff goes away. Now, let's just say you make $2,000 a month. And right now, it's just about all gone. Maybe you're real good at saving, and maybe you can save a couple $100 a month, or $100 a month. And again, then your car breaks down, and then it goes away because you got to go get it repaired for $800. So never mind that example. But long story short, if we did that, you would have plenty of money to put under your pillow. All your bills, now you're making $2,000 a month, yeah. Now you're making, in other words, you're making $2,000 and you're spending $2,000, paycheck to paycheck, like most Americans, due to all these hedge funds and traders, right? All these reasons. You take that $2,000, and now, due to the price drop of everything, your $2,000 that was going right out, you came in and went right out the door, only costs $800. So now every month, instead of paying $2,000 out in bills, you're only paying $800. You now have $1,200 profit, if you will, or net gain, in your possession. $800 out, $1,200 in. And again, that pays all your bills, groceries, gas, everything. $800, and now you got $1,200 to play with. And I don't mean play with as in let me go buy a bunch of crap. But even if you did, it should be cheap because all the price changes, right? So you can take $1,200 because let's face it, if you invest your money, your paycheck right now, 401k, you're only allowed to put, 5% or 8%, whatever the max is, right? Into your 401k of what your check is. And if you've got $2,000 a month, you can put in, let's just call it 10%. So that would be $200 a month. But wait a minute, my example says you just save $1,200 a month. So my example is, multiple times superior than the system we have right now. And I just made this up right now as I was driving in my car. But that system of mine, oh, we can't have that. Doesn't sound good. Gotta earn money, gotta earn interest. That way, when you pay interest on something, you understand it's needed for the economy to survive. When in reality, it's not. There's no interest needed. You give the government the proper ability to not borrow money into existence, but to print it into existence, set the value of it when it's in existence, and you never have these municipalities, cities, states going bankrupt. The government just prints the money they need to do its duties. That's what I said a million times. Civil War, the greenback, right? That's where that came from. They were using gold and silver. Both sides were running out of gold and silver. How the hell are we going to pay our troops? We can't pay our troops. They're not going to fight for us. Abraham Lincoln, hey, create this greenback. It worked so well, they wanted to keep it. But got his head blown off. That whole idea went out the window. Isn't that amazing? So, my nonsense I just created on the way to work this morning is superior than that of what we have. Keep everyone's salaries, and again, even if we don't print, even if we still have to borrow money into existence, which is wrong, but even if we still had to do that stupid system right now that we're on, but we did the price changing that I'm talking about, got rid of the entire stock market, got rid of the entire commodities and futures and all that crap goes away, then it's back to simple, God-given supply and demand. They cannot price fix at that point, or rig the price of anything at that point. And not to mention, if we had all these prices in place, you couldn't set them anyways. Only the government could set them. And at the same time, I can understand, people's concerns would be, well, I don't want the government setting anything because, some corrupt person's gonna, pay off a politician to pass some law to do something to where they can change the price again and whatever, And you're right, but that's just part of the old cycle. The old cycle of greed and human beings on Earth that's been going on for thousands of years. So there's no getting rid of that. Sorry about that. But after a big crash like what's about to happen, it's ripe for ideas like these because we have to get rid of the stock market in its current form. We have to get rid of these futures contracts in their current form. And why couldn't you just have everything so cheap that the money everybody makes, you just stock it under your pillow and save it up? Again, you want to put $200 into your 401k every month and earn, let's just say, a nice healthy 8% interest every year. Just by chance, it was 8% the rest of your life. You'd be phenomenally happy. Anybody would. But that's only $200 making 8%, whereas I've got $1,200 making no percent, 0% in my example. What would you rather have? $1,200 plus $1,200 in 2 months, you made $2,400. Other example, 200 plus 200 is 400, plus your little 8% and 8% bonus on top of that, which is nothing. Still not even over $500, so $2,400 or $500. It's a no-brainer. So the point of this is this whole crap of supply and demand, oil prices, and oil pipeline blew up today. I haven't even heard any of those stories, and they're still rising. Nothing changed a month. There was no fundamentals that changed from a month ago till now that says oil should have gone up $15 freaking dollars in this short amount of time. There's nothing. So think about that, and don't know what to tell you to do about it, but maybe write or fax your congressman. Just make sure you don't attach any money, because I'm sure they'll really see it if you don't attach any money to it. Like a bribe, or excuse me, not a bribe. Campaign contribution. Sorry about that.